Great. Okay.
Welcome.
We're underway. I called the Cemetery Commission to order for October 9th. So we have a quorum present. And we'll go right to commissioner comments. Any comments, Fran? No.
I don't think so.
I have signed the CPA agreement or the grant agreement for the Cemetery Commission. So that's apparently all signed, and so we, I'm not sure when she explained to me how it all worked. She said, well, you can't draw on the funds right away. You have to wait until whatever. And I said, fine. So anyway, at least the papers are all signed, so we're official and we can, we have those funds available.
Excellent.
Great. Approval of minutes. We had minutes from September 11th. Those were distributed after the meeting.
I would move to approve them.
Okay, we have a motion to approve. A second.
Second.
You have to roll call.
Oh, a roll call. Fran,
Aye.
Scotty,
Aye.
chair votes aye. Great. Those minutes are approved. Lot sales since the last meeting. We have had no sales since the last meeting. However, I've been out there again this past week and a half or so, meeting with two different people that are interested in plots. So, I explained to them what we're doing as far as the layout of the new lots and all that sort of thing. So, and I gave them a lot of applications, so we'll see. We'll see. That's all I have for the lot sales part. Cemetery update. We have about 69 lots we're waiting to lay out. Again, there's no urgency on those. Those are all the ones toward the road that extend the existing lots J through whatever.
I would say we should aim to do that for the end of November.
That would be good.
Yeah, make
All right.
that a goal. If we haven't done it by the next meeting, we'll talk about it next meeting and make sure we do it before the meeting after.
Okay. Why you just let me know when you're available.
Yeah.
Because my schedule is pretty open. So.
Okay.
And so good. All right, we'll take care of that. And then the monument restoration project update. Newtown and New North cemeteries to begin this fall. As I say, papers have been signed, the application, the grant agreement has been signed. And so we can roll ahead with that. Do you have any word from?
We are number 6 for Newtown in the line of procurement at the moment.
Oh, I see. So they'll get to it whenever.
Yeah, hopefully in the next.
6 of 100 or 6 of 6?
I don't know. It's a big list.
Right.
I know.
Good.
And I know they just had a couple of very large ones close. They like the dump
Oh, okay.
proposal just came back in. So there are a lot of big things that just closed. So we are starting to pick up some pace. That should be pretty easy to put out because we've done it before. So once it gets to the top, hopefully it'll be a relatively easy process.
Well, that would be exciting. By the way, I think that again, as I've said at past meetings, cemeteries look fabulous. I mean, all summer long, they've been mowed, they've been nice and trimmed, and so anyway, the guys are doing, or whoever it is doing a great job.
Yeah, I was hoping to have a little surprise work done in Newtown, but they haven't been able to get to it yet. So I met with them about trimming the west and south border, just cutting anything that's overhanging the split rail fence to be cut back for us. And then kind of going down into where the road kind of cuts through, just because that's where it becomes a little, the ownership is still a little in question, but we're gonna try to work on that. I'm gonna try to meet with them over at, the Old North and New North cemeteries, about doing some pruning in the back there for us.
Great, that would be pretty,
Yeah.
pretty cool once we get that taken care of.
So that'll probably be some, winter work, with them.
Right. Okay, Newtown legal status update. I don't have any information from Tracy, who's doing the legal work for the town. Lee has been in contact with her, and I'm not sure what has transpired, but I'm sure Lee will let her know that we are waiting to get some sort of resolution to that. Great. All right, Fran, you were going to give us an update on the video of the historic colored cemetery.
Yeah, so we have dates for the first chunk of filming. This will be filming the people who will be having speaking parts. And, you know, originally the idea was that we were going to film them outdoors, but now because of time and time of year, they're all going to be filmed in studio. And then the videographers will edit that, and in the spring, as soon as things are looking, you know, presentable, when things get a little green, they'll do some outdoor filming. But they're going to be here on the 16th, 17th, and 18th of November. So prior to their coming, Barbara and I are going to sit down with all of the people, we're calling them presenters, and run through their parts so that when they set up in the studio, people will come in probably in small groups, and one at a time they'll go into the studio, deliver their piece, hopefully without more than a couple of takes. And then the next person will go in, and the next, not necessarily in the order it will appear in the documentary, but, you know, just to get this done. The third day, Monday, the 18th, will actually be done at the home of Georgia Ann Snell, because she really, because of her limitations, she can't go into the studio, which is down some stairs. So if there's anybody else among the presenters that we haven't gotten to on the Saturday and Sunday when we have the NCTV studio to use, they will come to Georgia Ann's place and use the setup that we have there. The videographer, Paul Sanderson, told me that he plans to get most of the editing done in January, so that he will then just be waiting for the outside shots to work into the film. And he's perfectly sanguine about us meeting our prospective launch date on or before Juneteenth, which is gratifying to Barbara and me. So that's, I guess, our report.
Great.
Good, that's exciting.
There's a 6-month report that we are to submit, and I've sent a draft to Barbara and Charlie. And as far as I can tell, neither Barbara nor Charlie wants to change anything in it. So I think it could just go as it is.
Yeah, it looked good to me. We haven't expended any funds yet, so it's a pretty simple report.
Yep. Although there are a lot of questions there, and some of the questions in the format for the report are things that we simply cannot answer until we launch, because they're about reaction and they want quotations from people, and you know, we just can't do that until some people have seen the finished product.
Yeah.
Fran,
Nice.
where will when it's all done, where will the recording be housed?
Well, this belongs to us. And I imagine we'll have some permanent form of it, perhaps on a flash drive. But what we really want to do is to have plenty of venues showing it. And now that we're moving, Dr. Kame at the hospital had suggested to me that the hospital would like to set up a kiosk someplace within the hospital where people could watch the film on demand. And so that's one place where I imagine it will be.
Yeah, I think,
It'll be posted to,
so the Cemetery Commission has a section of the town's YouTube page, like where our committee meetings are posted. So we could post it there, and then it would be very easy to take that link, then install the link into the Cemetery Commission webpage. We could send the link to the NHA. Anybody that, we could ask anybody we wanted really to please post the link to the YouTube account on their webpage.
Yeah.
We could do a QR code,
I was just thinking, yeah,
and I could laser engrave it.
Yeah.
And we could put it right,
on the sign.
on a signpost right at the cemetery, so people could pull it up when they're there.
That'd be great.
What do you think?
Niles Parker said that they would be happy to post it on the NHA's YouTube channel.
Right, I spoke with Niles at an event recently, and just mentioned to him that that you were working on this and so on, and he was anxious to to hear more about it.
Well, one problem is that our vision for this includes the old mill, but the old mill is not currently presentable, and Niles doesn't hold out much hope that it will have its veins up in time for us to, film it for the video as we release it in June. But the videographer, Paul Sanderson, says that he doesn't see a finish date that he's willing to add to this later on. So when the old mill is finally restored, we can do some drone footage of it, and he can then edit it into the film for a later iteration of the film, which I think is quite nice of him. He seems to be really very much engaged with the project.
Great. Well, I can't wait to see what you come up with.
Yeah.
Did you notice that the sign has been replaced, Fran?
I'm sorry?
The sign has been replaced for the cemetery.
I didn't get the first of what you said, Charlie. What about time and place?
The sign on the road has been replaced.
Oh, thank you. And what about the bush?
Yep, I spoke to the tree guys and sent them down there the other day.
Oh, terrific. And, I was also thinking maybe this is something Alan and I could do, but the entrance from the parking lot for the hospital into the cemetery has gotten quite overgrown. And Alan and I both have loppers, so I think at some point we might just take care of that. It doesn't seem to be something the DPW should need to concern themselves with. What do you think, Alan? Can we just go and do that?
Yeah, we can. I usually have a set of clippers in my car with me to take care of little things like that. But
well, when I come back, maybe you and I can make a field trip one day.
Yeah, great. It's funny with all the daffodils we planted along the entrance there. I didn't get there during daffodil season to see what kind of blossoms we had.
Well, I was there and I saw that they were coming up and blooming, but we have this problem everywhere we planted them that the leaves get mowed too soon. And if the leaves get mowed they don't flower the next year.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, I think as long as the bulbs are still in the ground, of course, they do need the energy from the sun through the leaves and all that sort of thing.
You know, it's after they bloom, it's the leaves that rebuild the bulb for the next year. And, you know, they do look a little unsightly. They're droopy and floppy, and somebody wanting things to look neat, you know, will want to trim them back. But if they get trimmed back, then you don't get any flowers the next year. So I don't know what to do about that. Just be a little more careful, perhaps.
Well, sure. And of course, in the cemeteries, I'm sure there are lots of deer that wander around in there and help themselves.
But the thing about daffodils is that the deer don't touch them.
That's right. That's right. It is.
I wish that was true of other things. The deer are even eating my hydrangeas this year.
They have been.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we can put in some more daffodils next year. You know, we'll see.
I think we should, because we still have money to do that, don't we?
I believe we do. It depends on how the funds were distributed. They're coming from the garden club. So I don't know if they,
Actually, Alan, if you want to have daffodils for next spring, the window of opportunity is now.
that's now is the
We also, we have a budgetary line item for the cemetery for the funds.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh. Wow, let's see. We'll have to see if we can get daffodil bulbs and things like that before the.
Yep.
All right, I'll check that out. I'll see what we can find as far as daffodil bulbs and maybe doing.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'll have to.
Doesn't take much. You get the old drill going again.
Yeah. Right.
Do that 500
It was,
times.
yeah, it was kind of fun for the first maybe
Yeah.
25 or so.
It's rewarding.
Okay, great. Thank you, Fran, for that update. Old, new, or other business. What did I have? Oh, I was looking over the projects list. This would be under, I guess, old business or old, or both old and new business. And we've been chipping away at all the projects here under the projects list. And it's always nice to get them sort of checked off. And we've been doing an amazing job with, getting stuff done in terms of the cemeteries and so on. Once we get the work done at Newtown and at New North Cemetery, I want to contact the local newspaper and the Nantucket Current, and I've got some connections at the Current there, and maybe have them do a feature of some sort about the work that we've done in the cemeteries. So I thought once we get the work done, perhaps this spring would be a good time to do.
I would be happy to write a press release about it if that would be useful. By the way, Robert Reed's stone is in place. It's right next to Woolly Houses, and it looks perfectly fine.
Okay.
I did notice that the stone on the other side, which is for that small child who died some time ago, that I drove by in the evening, and little solar panels have been installed for lights. It looks like a little Christmas tree there. So, but that wasn't on Bob Reed's side, that's on the other side.
Right, yeah. I noticed that too when I was in there to take a look at the new monument.
What can you do?
I know, it's nice to know that there are people out there that are recognizing that, because it's,
Yeah.
Okay, I think that brings me to the end of the agenda. Any other old, new, or other business to come before the commission this afternoon?
Not for me.
This is a new record.
Well,
So, all right, I would then entertain a motion to adjourn. Scotty?
Do we move to adjourn?
You know.
I move to adjourn then.
And a second from Frank. And roll call vote, Scotty?
Aye.
Fran? Chair votes aye. So we are officially adjourned. I think this is the earliest we've ever.
Yeah. Thanks, Fran.
Efficiency.
Yeah, well, efficiency and a pretty